Welcome to PPR Podcast number 219. 219 of these suckers, Bert.
Seems like less.
We've had a few Hall of Famers in here. I think we have a potential future Hall of Famer. In fact, he certainly has the numbers. Would you like to make the introductions, please?
Point Loma, all-time great, Leroy Glover, if you remember him, if you're old like us.
Yes.
Not that old, Leroy, sorry.
I remember him.
I'm getting there, though. I'm getting there.
All right, I got a question for you. So you know PPR is a high school show.
Yes.
In 1990, I was with the Chargers. I had two interactions with you. No, we had the one at the camp. I got it if my memory's good, because I'm getting old. I took a liking to you and your brother Darcel, and I remember asking you what you do in the summer or something, like to work out, and you said I work at SeaWorld. Did you work at SeaWorld in high school in the summers?
I did. That's a good memory. I worked at SeaWorld all through high school. I was the guy in the Shamu show selling, popcorn and Pepsi and sweating and all that good stuff. Hey, man, you got to make some money, dude.
I remember you said it weighed like 40 or 50 pounds, and that was your workout, like going up and down the Shamu steps. And I was like, oh, God.
That was my workout. Absolutely. That was my workout.
That was what, 1990?
I was in high school, so it was 15, 16, 17-ish, somewhere in that window.
Are there any pictures of that? Do you have?
I hope not. I hope there are no pictures of my SeaWorld days, but it was good, and it helped me grow up.
And the other one I remember is, I think it was either my rookie year or my second year, and that's back when they used to play, it was Jack Murphy then, they used to play, remember the CIF there?
Yeah.
I think, so we were getting done practice, we were in the tunnel, and I was watching part of the game, and I think you're playing Vista.
Correct.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but you had some weird, I remember we were all looking at your defense, and we're all like, what are they running, or what are they lined up in? It looked like a punt return. But you're playing defense.
Yeah, it was the amoeba defense where we basically played our free safety about 25 yards deep, and everybody else was up around the line of scrimmage. It's kind of what we came up with.
And it was working. That was the crazy part.
We had a lot of success. You did mention you were in the championship game, so we were having some success with that defense all year long.
Leroy, Bert always says this, and I want to know if you'll back him up, that like you, he played the game at every level. And he says that it's his high school days that he thinks of most as far as the relationships, and he just more innocent time where the game was the game and not a business. Do you concur with that, or is, you came along at a time when a lot more money was being doled out?
Not in high school, that's for darn sure. But I think, but to your point, though, I think that's where you first kind of learn the love of the game, kind of learn the love of the work ethic and what it takes. Fortunately for me, I can't speak for Bert, I had a guy by the name of Benny Edens who was a legendary high school coach, and whatever Benny Edens said was golden at the time. And it's just one of those opportunities to learn a lot from a guy who has a lot of experience, not just in just football, but just life experience as well.
So I want to talk, you obviously follow San Diego State, you're in the Aztec Hall of Fame. In like 1990, you were the CIF Player of the Year. You could have went anywhere you wanted to. I know your brother was at San Diego State, but why can't San Diego State keep any of the local kids, you think?
That's a good question. I think one of them is going to be the obvious attraction. I think what we're going to have to do with San Diego State, in my opinion, of course, is find a way by hook or by crook to first and foremost get a quarterback. Wherever we can get that guy from, just get a quarterback who can kind of be the face of the franchise, the face of the organization, so to speak. That'll start. And then as far as the local guys are concerned, once you start winning, once you start getting some momentum and having some winning seasons, I think that'll start getting some of the momentum, and some of the local guys will want to stay back in town.
But nowadays, you get that kid, and say he has a mega freshman year or a sophomore year, next thing you know, he's playing for somewhere else because they can pay him more. Do we really think this NIL thing through and through? Because it seems to me the schools that are on the cusp of the Power Five are going to take it in the shorts the hardest.
Yeah, and once again, you also have to think of the long-term ramifications of a system like that as well. I think it'd be good for the bigger schools with the deeper pockets early. But what's going to happen year 2 or 3 or 4 when obviously either the players are going to want more money, or some of the players don't pan out the way you thought they would, and they'll be in a position to where you're paying them a lot of money, but they're not playing as much as you would like them to.
I want to go back to San Diego State again, because you you're more qualified than anybody. You and Marshall Falk on this one. Paul and I were talking on Good Morning San Diego this morning. I think they've sold 5,000 season tickets. They have nobody that goes to the games. And again, not to go back 100 years, but when you were there and when I was with the Chargers, they were outdrawing us. They were playing USC. They were playing Miami. They literally packed the stadium. We couldn't pack the stadium back then, and you guys would. What went wrong? Or like, is it just, how do we go from there to here?
Yeah, I think the easy response to that would be having success. I mean, you go back to a Brady Hoke era when the team was winning. You did have bodies in seats. You did have a good product on the field. Will things turn around? I think they will turn around quite quickly for us as well. You do have now the infrastructure. You've got the stadium to sort of help out with some of that stuff as well. The last piece of that, once again, we're going to keep harping on this thing. Who's going to be the trigger man for you? Who's going to be your quarterback?
Does it have to be a quarterback, or what if the reincarnation of Marshall Falk came down the pipe, and you had like some 2,000-yard rusher, with a Gentry or whatever you
or
pick,
Pumphrey?
Would it make a difference? Does it have to be a quarterback in your view?
It doesn't, but I think it will change the system significantly, the type of system that you're going to run offensively. You're going to be more of a run first, more of a play action pass. But still, again, on third downs, that critical down, when you got to either move the chains or go have a seat on the sideline, you want a trigger caller there that can move those chains for you.
Oh, all right, we're going to go off this for a little bit. So everybody knows your background. We got like 90 sacks. You're on the all-decade team. You're in the Saints Hall of Fame. You're in the Cowboys 50 best players ever. But I think a lot of people don't remember, you got drafted and then cut by the Raiders your first year, did you not?
I did. I got drafted by the Raiders in the 5th round in 1996. Was there my entire rookie year, didn't get a lot of playing time, was then sent over to play in Barcelona, Spain, in the World League, have success over there, came back to training camp with the Raiders and got released, and then a day later got signed by the New Orleans Saints. And that's when some very positive things started to happen in my career.
Leroy, first of all, do you ever think about, wow, I came close to not realizing this? And then two, how many guys out there are that the story went the other way, that they were good enough to play in the NFL, but somehow no one recognized that?
Yeah, it's definitely a blessing, that's for sure, just being given, a few different opportunities to showcase your skill to NFL scouts and NFL teams, one. Two, it's now taking advantage of said opportunities as well. Is when you do get your feet are on the ground, you're ready to work, you're ready to accept your other teammates, you're ready to learn a playbook, you're ready to learn a new city. All those types of things go into it as well. And so, once again, a blessed feeling to be able to maneuver and navigate through it and come out after 13 seasons still with a love for the game.
But it's not an exact science. Some guys
Never.
Are there guys, if I said to you, name a player that was good enough to play in the NFL, but for whatever reason, either his fault or somebody else's, he didn't get recognize that dream. Who comes to mind?
Paul Rudy for me.
Well, yeah,
Wow.
It's got to be Paul Rudy.
Leroy, if you could have seen these hands on a different chassis, it was impossible for me to drop the football.
You'd have been all-decade team. No
I would have been, but unfortunately, I ran a 5.240.
Well, since this is a high school focused show, Teddy Lawrence in high school from Morris High School was a phenomenal athlete, way better of an athlete than I ever could have been, would be the first name that comes to mind. Just a phenomenal quarterback, phenomenal dude, and went on to UCLA and did great things with himself. But I could have swore he'd been an NFL player.
So going back to the Raiders, I know for me, like, a lot changed when, I got drafted, we played a 4-man front, and then 3 years in, we changed it to a 50, and that just killed me because I wasn't built for that. What changes for you from getting cut to the Raiders to being an all-pro, not just Pro Bowl, all-pro, 2 years later?
Wow, a wake-up call, one. It was really a wake-up call. Like, if this is something I want to consider doing for a living, being a professional ball player, you got to take advantage of every opportunity. You got to work your butt off. There's no more, my bads or, I didn't knows. You got to really be on your stuff. That was the first thing, and then two, kind of like the group that I was around at the time. Being able to play with guys like Wayne Martin, Joe Johnson, Mark Fields, and some of the great players that the Saints had on that defense, kind of brought out the best in my game as well.
And now you're trying to help people do what you did. I mean, I know you're a coach and whatnot, but you're also a mentor. I'm sure you're aware of. How is the contemporary athlete different from, say, your era?
Well, I think there are some differences, but the similarities are still the same. Everybody wants to be coached, and I think everybody wants to be coached a certain way. Everybody wants to be told the truth, whether they like the truth or not, but they're going to get the truth. Everybody wants to have some form of a relationship with that coach, whether that relationship be good or bad. Oftentimes, the player determines the relationship. And then lastly, I think everybody wants to be consistent. They want to see the same person each and every day, whether things are great and you're winning by 20 or, maybe some weeks you're down and you're not having the success that you want to have. I think players want to see the same guy leading the room each and every day.
I think so when you played, I'm going to say this, I sound older every day. When you played, I'm not going to say when I played, it was a game. Today it's more of a show, I think. So you played for Dick at the Saints, correct?
Correct.
Could Mike Ditka coach in today's show?
I think he could. He'd have a specialized role because what his skill set was, he was a hell of a motivator. I mean, he could motivate people. He can get guys to run through a brick wall for him. And so that I think he would have to have other people on staff to help him out maybe with the X's and O's, to maybe help him out with the scheme a little bit. But as far as motivation and getting grown men to really buy into something and play as one, there was probably nobody better in the business than Mike Ditka.
Did you like him?
I did. He gave me my shot, along with other guys with the Saints. But Iron Mike gave me my first shot to really show what I can do. So yes.
I only met him when the Bears were practicing at Platteville in Wisconsin. I loved it even when he yelled at you. I just thought he was a cool dude.
I got to meet him a lot.
He was a cool dude. He wasn't the easiest guy to get along with, but he was a cool dude now.
He went to Pitt, so he'd come back to Pitt all the time, but he was always nice to us because we were Pitt players and he went there, but I never saw the bad side.
Wait, I mean, he could be a little ornery. I still have a clip somewhere where that's a stupid question.
To you?
I can't use the word. Oh. Yeah, he lit me up. But you know what? That's one of the most, and I never, I relearned something. He taught me something. Keep your questions short and to the point. Don't try to tell the coach what you know. Just get to it. Because if you listen to contemporary reporters nowadays, they try to show you how much they know. And what am I going to teach Mike Ditka about football?
Not a lot.
Not much. Paul lost his microphone.
Yeah.
Hey, what's it? I got cover for him now.
Yeah.
I want to go back to your World League days, Barcelona.
Oh yeah.
Was that fun? Did you like that? What's it like playing over? Do they even like football over there back then?
That probably was one of the more fun experiences that I had in my life, quite honestly. Number one, I'm 21 years old, playing ball overseas. We're making okay money. Everybody's over there trying to really just show what they can do to NFL scouts, for NFL scouts. But the location was beautiful. I mean, we're right across the street from the Mediterranean Ocean over there. The food was phenomenal. The people, actually, they really did fill out the stadiums and really put butts in seats over there and supported the team. And so that experience to me was like, wow, it was really, really eye-opening just to see like the international love for the sport of football. So it was excellent for me.
Was it, because I hear from a lot of players, it was just like they should do a 30-30. It was just like a big nonstop party. Is that true?
We had a good time, that's for darn sure. I mean, one thing we took advantage of is those siestas. Every single day from noon to 2, everything shuts down and everybody goes to the beach and takes a nap. So, I mean, who wouldn't love that?
See, that's the training that got you in All-Pro. The siesta.
That's right. The Mediterranean Ocean, soaking in that Mediterranean Ocean, man, gave me the juice.
Well, it's probably good for your knees, too.
Absolutely.
So tell us a little about life, because all right, my memory's as squishy as his, but I remember, didn't you go back to school and get your MBA?
I did actually. Went back to school, went back to Fontbonne University. When I retired from playing, I was working in the Rams front office as a director of player engagement, and then along with that, went back to school for an MBA and a doctoral degree as well. So just tried to stay busy, tried to stay productive, and just going back to that service model of just trying to be of service to people.
And yet now you find yourself back in the game, immersed into it as an assistant coach. Where do you want to take that? Is your aspiration to be back in the NFL?
Yeah, my goal and aspiration is to just continue to coach, and if God blesses me enough to be blessed again to be back in the National Football League, then that will be a phenomenal opportunity as well. But I'm a coach, man. I'm a coach. I'm a ball coach. I love it. I enjoy it, and this is something I want to do for a long time.
Well, the one thing, they're paying assistants a lot more than they ever used to.
Yeah. Hey, your son plays basketball, does he not?
Son plays basketball. Daughters play volleyball.
Did your son? I remember your son being like 6'8". Is he like 6'8", 6'9"?
He's 6'9" now. He's still growing.
Where's he?
Somewhere in
He's
Arizona,
doing.
right?
He's at University of Oregon doing film school. I've got another daughter at the Arizona State playing volleyball, and then the youngest daughter's at the University of Arizona. She's the manager of the volleyball team there as well.
So you get to see them more because you can hit 2 for 1, right? When you go to Arizona.
Correct. You can always hit 2 for 1 in the desert.
Right.
So how do you go from undersized D tackle to having a 6'9" son?
Well, that's good genes. You know, you got to have a tall wife. That always helps. My lovely wife is tall, and she keeps us all in order. And she's like what they call that. I think they call that the momager. She's the mom and the manager for the kids, and she does a heck of a job.
It is good genes. And don't get mad. I always thought Darcel was much better looking than you too. I don't want to say nothing.
That's all good. That's all good.
And Darcel is he a principal now? Isn't he in Poway somewhere?
He is a principal now. Yeah, he's a principal still in San Diego, still doing a heck of a job, still being a mentor and a leader in the local community.
Yeah, I like Darcel. Darcel's a good dude.
All right, so where I was going with my contemporary athlete question is now there seems to be this whole, I don't know, Bert, did you market yourself?
No, we didn't.
There was no marketing yourself, or
we had 3 channels.
The social media, now kids seem it's me. It seems to be the theme. And to win a team sport, can you win with a bunch of me's, or do you have to somehow get that me into us?
Yeah, I think there's a fine line between, what we'll call the branding piece and kind of, selling yourself from the standpoint of what you want to do on your social media platforms, as opposed to what you want to do in a court, a field, or any of those sporting atmospheres. Obviously, you got to preach team. I mean, if you're a coach, if you're a participant in any team activity, you're going to preach team all the time. So that's going to be first and foremost. But the second piece of that is obviously nowadays in 2025, guys and young ladies are taking advantage of what they're doing in social media. So there is space for it. There is a place for it. But once again, it will always come back to if the team wins, then the individual success will fall in line after that.
I don't know if the two can go together. It's sweet, because we were talked about this morning. You have Shedeur Sanders, gets in the Hall of Fame a semester after the season with a 13-12 record. I mean, it's great for social media, it's great for exposure, but is that good for a culture or a team or anything else to have that? And your dad's the coach and does it.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen a lot of that stuff go on in 2025. I think ultimately the ultimate test for me is, once again, you said it, the success you're having on the field. I mean, because no one can argue that. If you're winning, you're winning. No one can argue what your record is. If you're not winning, then you'll have all those sort of naysayers out there questioning some of the decisions that have been made. So as long as you're winning, the accolades will come.
Yeah, 13-12, 1-8 against top 25 teams, and 0-1 in the bowl game.
And he's in the Hall of Fame.
2 months after the season, 3 months after the season. That's just insane.
What would you say to Cordell Stewart?
Yeah, exactly. What do you say to Cordell Stewart, Eric Bieniemy, anybody?
I mean, Cordell Stewart had some legitimate success.
Yeah, I don't know. So I'm asking. I have no answers.
Let's in the few minutes that we have left, Leroy, talk to high school kids. First of all, when you look at a game tape, I don't know if you probably don't look at high school kids as much anymore, but when you look at their tape, what's the number one flawed young defensive linemen are making right now?
Wow, the number one flaw, mistake, defensive lineman I make. The one thing that if you're going to be a good defensive lineman and going from the high school to the college level is no coaches are going to ever question or coach your effort. So it's got to be the effort. If you see a big guy who can run, really put that on tape, that's how you impress people like me or any other coach, head coach, D-line coaches around the league. They want to see big guys who are athletic, who can play with their hands, who can move their feet, who are coordinated. But the biggest piece to me is who can get from point A to point B as fast as possible. That's how you impress people.
Non-stop motor is the phrase? Is that?
Something like that.
Non-stop motor is a phrase. Relentless effort is a phrase. We've even got a new one. Just show me a big man that can run. Big man running.
You know, I think everybody does it now, but back in our day, we didn't all play with our hands. It kind of took a while. When did you actually learn that part of it?
Believe it or not, I learned that probably like my second year in New Orleans to really like focus in and really just all in all, just playing the run on first and second down. You know, I was always trying to shoot up the field or maybe take a chance and jump around the block. Sometimes you make it, sometimes you don't. But then consistently getting with a coach that just consistently taught me how to play with my hands helped out significantly.
I was hoping you'd say I taught you that at camp, but obviously I didn't.
So
it started, but it didn't stick. Then I got with a cat named Randy White, and it really stuck then.
Oh, I've heard that name. Yeah. I've heard that name. So when you're saying playing with hands, what are you talking about? Like,
we used to all,
so
use your hand.
a lineman puts the.
Yeah, you just take it off like that, but we never did that before. Remember, it was just all like this.
It was just always running up the field.
Yeah, crashing and being Velcro.
Or running around the block. Basically, if a guy comes at you, you want to try to take him on with your hands. Oftentimes, what young guys do, guys come at them, they want to run around it. And in the run game, you can't do that because it obviously opens up vertical seams in the run game. You don't want that to happen.
Mm-hmm. I learned something.
You did.
And you kind of hurt my wrist.
I'm sorry.
Jeez.
You got cufflinks on. Look at that. Like, Leroy, what's it mean when you have your initials on your cufflinks?
Narcissist. I mean, you got big money.
Yeah, that's it.
I mean, you got long arms, short pockets.
We're running out of time, so
okay. Do you got a last question, or do you want me? Because I got a couple.
You do it.
All right. So high school kids showing nonstop effort. What else should they like stance? Give me the checklist as you're looking at a tape. What are you looking at besides the nonstop effort?
Besides nonstop effort, number one, alignment. Does the player know where to line up? Let's keep this very simple for young guys. Number two, assignment. Does he know what to do? Does he know how to do it? Alignment, assignment. Then lastly, technique. Does he know the specific technique he needs to play on each call and for each situation of a ball game? If he can do those three things, you got a shot to be successful.
All right, dude.
Got a lot. Why don't you ever ask me these questions?
Well, because I want to ask somebody who actually did all of it.
Wow. I didn't play the run, but still.
Leroy, it's been an honor to chat with you. I appreciate you What's next on your day? What do you have to do next today?
We're going to start preparing for the Michigan team we're going to play here. They're a pretty good team. I believe they're 2-2, and they got a really, really good run game. So I got to start getting ready to break down their run game.
What kind of defense do you guys play?
We are a 3-4 defense.
All right, I got one last question. If there was no such thing as a four-man front and we only played a 50 or a 3-4, would you have been successful?
I think the bigger piece of that is if I would have been the 3 technique in a 4-3 or a 4 technique in a 3-4, that would be the biggest difference. Because as we all know, the toughest place to rush the passer is right over the center and or in the A gap because you're going to get constantly double teamed. So I think, putting yourself in an advantageous situation, 3 technique is advantageous, or if you got the ability to go out at the end on third down, you can get you some action out there.
That's it.
I know Aaron Donald's your put him up on a pedestal. Who's your put him on a pedestal defensive lineman that you just thought, oh man, this guy's the cat's meow, if you will?
Wow. I mean, there's so many great ones out there. John Randall is the greatest 3 technique next to Aaron Donald. Warren Sapp is a great one. Mean Joe Green. Alan Page. I mean, we can go down the line of just phenomenal defensive tackle 3 technique. Curly Cope was probably the baddest nose guard nobody's ever heard of. So there's Kansas a lot City. Of guys out there.
Kansas City, right? Or Houston?
Kansas City Chiefs, absolutely. Yep. Play for Houston as well.
You played.
Look at you. You know.
Well, I mean, I used to follow the game. You also mentioned a pair of Vikings there. Bloomington, Minnesota.
There we go. There we go.
All right, well, hey, we certainly appreciate you doing this with us. I know time is money for you, so thank you so much. Bert's going to call you about some picture requests. Do you have any things, you probably didn't take a ton of pictures, but like from your playing days, if you have anything.
I got to go through the archives and see what I got, but yeah, let me know what you need.
Well, anything you could send us, I would certainly appreciate it, because I'm going to start editing this in a couple hours. We're going to put this up on YouTube later today, and then I start cutting up more private stuff on my social media, and I would love to have any pictures you have of your youth, SDSU, and playing days.
Point Loma.
Point Loma, man, if you had a shot over at SeaWorld, I would kill for that. But I'll tell you the things I'm going to use.
SeaWorld.
I'm going to use Benny Eden's son. I think I have a couple Benny pictures, so that'll work. But
Awesome.
Mike Ditka, if you have anything with Mike Ditka, man, I would love that. So I know that's going way back, and you probably don't have access to that. But if you do, Bert's going to call you with my email, so if you can mail them along to me, it just dials this up a little bit. Okay?
Sounds like a plan.
Have a safe day, and Leroy, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Leroy.
It's an honor
Have
to
a
chat
good one,
with you.
fellas.
Take care. PPR Podcast 219 is over. Turn off the machines, everybody.